know if I should change anything, because I've never played this game before, so I don't know how it runs. So we're just gonna leave it as is for now, I guess. I'm so excited! We're gonna make a zoo!
Hey! Oh!
I am very pale. Ew. Ew, what's up with their, like, mouths? I love that the only two options are slim or large. I don't think I'm either one of these, but we're gonna be skinsy. Is this face shape? Oh, heads. Oh! Let's go with that one. What does that do? Oh. Okay. It's kind of a sleigh. Why can't that be like, what does this even mean? It's just like random, I don't understand that. We're gonna do that one though, that one looks cool. Should I wear, yeah, let's go with these ones. I don't know. T-shirt, I guess. Let's do this. Get that Lululemon jacket. Hell yeah. Ooh. Oh, fuck it. Let's do some jeans. Hat. I'm gonna say no for the hat. Ooh. Oh my god, wait, where do I want to go? Whoa. I'm not very good at reading maps. This is Canada. Should I just go right in Vancouver? I'm assuming that's like here. Right? This is like Vancouver Island right here, right? I think so. I think so. Okay, we're gonna go like right here. Oh, okay. Oh, there's so much stuff. Oh! Those are other people. Okay. Let's do career. Sure. Woo! I don't know. Alright. Fuck it. Let's go. I like this music. Right? This music's so good.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, Our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too.
Oh.
But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Okay. How do I move around? Oh, okay. This is how. Here? How do I... Oh, there we go. Okay. I can't see them. Where are they? Hello? Oh, they're there. How do I, like... Oh, there we go. Okay. Cool. It's kind of like Sims.
Did you know that grizzly bears,
look at 'em swimming.
also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
Okay, what am I meant to be doing?
Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Zachary. What's this one mean? Mika?
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Look at him. Aww. Cute.
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it. Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Lions. Whoa. Lions. Lions. Oh, over here. Oops.
Panthera leo. All the West African lion to you and me.
Oh, baby!
Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride. Although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome. Which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
I'll leave the lion. Is he snoring? So cute. Oh, okay. Okay, whatever. Okay. I'm done with these lions. Where are we going? Over here. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Right here. Okay, I'm here.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something.
An animal?
Well, 2 somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Warthogs? Adopt and place 2 new common warthogs. How do I do that? Oh, use the animal trading menu to adopt the warthogs. Okay.
There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select adopt from the side menu.
$200?
Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Okay. Siak.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Okay, from where? What did she say? From the...
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat.
Oh, they're okay.
I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Oh, look at them. Oh, there he is. Cute. What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? Did you see that? Oh my god, I could have sworn I saw like an animal running around. That scared me. Oh, look at him. Ah! He's so cute. So cute. Okay, what now, bitch? Okay, wait, what? Oh, there we go. Okay. Locate animal trading center. Does she mark it for me? Oh, right here. Ha ha ha. Whoa. Ha ha ha. Whoa. 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 Sorry. I'm sort of clicking everything. Sorry.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy.
Okay.
You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas.
You speak too much.
Nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
Okay.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare.
Okay.
To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking
Well, I
station.
was trying to do
Now,
that, but you were freaking too
each
busy
animal
talking.
requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Cool. Let's put feeding trough. Let's put it like right here so people can watch them eat. And water bowl. Okay. Let's put that also.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in.
Oh, fuck,
that
that's
bath
big.
will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Cool.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a feral state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop.
feral.
But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat.
Okay.
It's
this is
over near the
here.
hippos.
Yeah, I got it. Holy fuck, are those? Is that an ostrich? Oh no, it's a tree.
Before we
Okay.
actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Okay.
That's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Okay. Habitat gate. Cool.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
I fucking can't see because this stupid shit is here.
Good work.
Thank you.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier.
Okay.
Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier so the guests can see in.
Okay. Glass. Glass. What?
There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. Okay.
Adding in more windows gives guests
I
even
can only
more
read the one.
opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
Okay. Donation box. Donation box. Oh, here, I'm assuming?
Now,
Oh, why would I put
before
that
we
there?
adopt
That's
our
fine.
ostriches,
Can
you
I
should
edit
click the
that?
play button.
Hold on, stop
After all,
talking.
if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the
Oh my
ostriches,
god,
eh?
bitch, you talk too much. Can I talk, or can I move this first, please? Oh my god, they're not letting me move it. Okay.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat.
Okay.
Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them
doing
in
that now.
here.
Why is that one so expensive?
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
They get a slow feeder like a dog?
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43
I hate
miles
that I
per
can't move
hour?
this.
Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we?
Okay.
To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
I don't... Suits,
You'll
I
need to
guess.
rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
How? 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 Thank you. Huh? Oh. Okay, this is just fucking so difficult. Wait, is that even the front? Oh my god, this thing is so hard to control. There we go. Jesus Christ.
This keeper hut only has space for 1 keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness. Negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
A transformer?
Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you
hate
to
this
see
thing.
what
This
is
thing
and what
makes it so hard
isn't
to fucking
powered in
see
your zoo.
everything.
So once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to
What the
prepare
fuck?
food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away. Righty, your next job is to build a habitat. From scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So, go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Okay. Habitat gate. We're gonna put it right here.
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode.
Wait, double click? Wait, what?
Great. Now,
Oh, okay.
highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool. Now you've got all of the perimeter selected, you can increase the height of it by clicking and dragging the barrier height tool upwards. You'll want to make sure it reaches a height of at least 3.7 meters.
What? I'm so confused. How do I do that? It only goes up to 2. Oh.
Now that the habitat is in
Okay.
place, don't forget to put down a donation
So
box
dumb.
near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch. Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
Okay.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Got it.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water.
How?
You should do that by going into Terrain and selecting the water tool.
Rain. Oh. Water. Rough water.
Yes, that'll do nicely.
Oh.
Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
I want to do like full hole. There we go. Okay, cool. Enrichment.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather.
Are we in England? I thought
Go
I
on,
selected
add a shelter to their
Vancouver.
habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
I wanna have it this way. Let's put it like in this corner. Yeah. It's kind of overlapping out of the fucking fence.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel. Rightio, click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat. Okay then, open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Oh, soil. But which one? Is that better? I don't like the long grass, so. Just gonna put all soil, I guess. There. Is that better? Oh, you like want more grass now. I'm so confused. Okay.
They say that good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave, even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right, let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
What? What are we doing? Locate the highlighted area. Okay, right here. Why is there a
Now then,
fucking
just find one of the
labyrinth in
peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese. Expand their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail.